Sweets and treats.
Today we're making Juli's wonderful, colorful cake. I think 2 days ago was her birthday and she turned 1.
Today we won't be following any special recipes. We actually have our cakes already baked. So today we're going to be more so tapping into our creative sides.
This is what we use to bake our cakes. However, use whatever cake you desire. And here's some of the tools we used. We didn't use all of these, but I'll be sure to list the ones that we did use under the video below.
So yeah, we're going to be sharing some good news and bad news with you guys. So we'll share the good news first. The good news is that we're going to be trying something different today. Something that I've never seen done before. So I'm anxious and curious to see how it's going to turn out.
So guys, I'll tell you the bad news. This is the disaster thing that happened last night. Well, last night when Mommy was baking 2 little yellow cakes and 2 little chocolate cakes, so she burnt the yellow flavor but not the brown one.
Yeah guys, so I'm
a little bit embarrassed.
Totally embarrassed. I have been baking for decades, okay? Decades, and I have never burnt a cake before.
Yes, you have. You just said it last night.
I have never burnt a cake before, guys. But guess what? Sometimes there's a lot going on. And one of those days where it was a lot going on was yesterday, and I lost it, guys. The other thing that's gonna save this cake is we were planning to use a cake leveler anyway to cut off the top part of the cake, which is the burnt cake, which is the burnt part of the cake. So I think it's gonna turn out fine anyway. So we have this turntable that we're gonna put our cakes on. We're actually gonna have a 2-tier cake. And before we grab our cakes, we're gonna put some parchment paper on the turntable, just so that this part won't get all
messy and stuff.
Crummy, exactly. All right, guys. Here comes the burntness.
Yes, you're never gonna believe this.
I don't even want to show you guys this, but it is what it is, okay? The burnt cake, guys. All right, our baby Julie isn't having it right now, so she's joined our video once again. So to use this leveler, so we're gonna kind of shimmy it back and forth.
Okay, I got it.
To get the, you got it? Okay. So there goes the
burnt part. Whoa!
Voila! Look, guys.
Looks like bread.
No more burntness.
Yep.
So now since we got the top layer off and it's nice and level, we're gonna just put some icing on it. We're not gonna use any fancy fillings or anything. That's just gonna help the cake kind of stay in place. So we're just gonna repeat the same thing with this other burnt cake. All right. Okay, so I had to get the backpack here for the baby. As she had 4 shots, so she's been super irritable. Which is another reason I lost my mind last night when baking these cakes. On top of my husband being a first responder and me having him drop him off at the airport for a red-eye flight to Texas. So that was another thing which had me out of sorts. You're just gonna put it just on top, okay? So guys, if you do it this way, you are bound to end up with a lot of crumbs in your icing, which is okay because it's going to get eaten anyway. But like I said, we aren't using any special fillings, just trying to keep it simple. Because that's what we like to do over here, keeping it simple. So here's burntness number 2.
Yes. Burntness number 2.
Burntness number 2.
I already did that one too.
Yes, ma'am. Let me move this. We're just gonna stick this right on top of here. And again, guys, this is all experiments for us.
Yeah.
We are by no means cake connoisseurs.
Yes.
We are.
And we like to get messy.
We are learning just as we go along. So I'm gonna get this serrated knife. I'm gonna get the serrated knife. You can see the edges on it to cut the sides off and make them
like softer and
to make them even.
Oh.
So can you guys see how that's working out? So yeah, guys, get your parents, if you're doing this alone, get your parents to do all the sharp knife work. Don't try this alone, please. Right, Titi?
Listen.
Don't want anybody
Getting their head chopped.
Don't want anybody
Getting hurt.
exactly getting hurt.
And chopping their head off.
So now we have our cups out for mixing the icing with the food coloring. So because it's called Juli's Wonderful Colorful Cake, we're going to use a lot of different colors. We're going to mix the icing up real good with the food coloring and see all our different colors. Then we're going to get our piping bags and start to layer the outer rim of our cakes. We got our icing in all our cups.
Yeah, so I picked 3 colors and Mommy picked 4 colors. So this is pink, but it's a little red. And I got purple, but it's a little black. And I got blue, but it's a little black.
And I had yellow, orange, green, and red. So we're just gonna take a few drops of each of these colors and add them to each of the cups and then start stirring.
Yeah.
So guys, this isn't your typical food coloring. You know, the typical food coloring, you can just drop in things. This is more like a jelly not jelly consistency, but it's really thick. And you can't just drop it out like that. It's kind of like a jello. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to just use some toothpicks to get some of this out and add it to the cups. So here, you guys can see, wait a minute. So see that? There we go. Hopefully that's not too much.
Guys, this also stings fingers.
So yeah, you might want to wear gloves if you are worried about your skin changing colors temporarily. This is a nice pretty yellow.
Yeah.
Nice and rich.
Rich?
Yeah, a rich color. It means it's vibrant. And I don't think we have enough icing, guys, so we're gonna have to improvise.
Improvise.
I don't know if we're gonna just use one tier of chocolate cake instead of 2, but we gotta make sure that we have enough icing to cover the cake, because
I want to try that, Mommy.
who wants to make a cake?
I know, Mama.
Yeah, you don't want to make a cake.
Then other cakes would be teeth in them.
So yeah, that's how we're gonna have to get this to stick. Just kind of smush
smush, smush, smush.
Smush the icing in the cake gently. So it has one layer of purple.
Can I try, Mommy?
Sure.
Thank you.
You can try the blue layer. What used to be your favorite color, now you switched.
Yeah, it's pink. I bet this cake is going to be delicious.
I think so too.
I'm
Yep,
feeling...
I don't think pink is gonna make it. Why are you feeling scared?
Because I really want pink to make it. It's my favorite color.
How did pink even become your favorite color?
Well, one day ago, like yesterday, I told myself, my color's pink now, and teal.
Alright guys, so here comes a super fun part. We're going to make this nice and even by just using a spatula to kind of smooth it out. So,
That's not really fun.
but seeing it evolve, seeing it's a little messy now. So here, we can do it together. See how it comes out nice and neat. We got our colors on there, guys. We tried our best.
Mommy smeared it.
I smeared it in parts, but guess what? We're experimenting and decorating and having fun.
So guys, here comes the really, really, really fun part where we get to paint on fondant.
Before we do that, we gotta tighten these edges up a bit.
Yeah.
Add a little more white icing and stick some dowels. We got these dowels in here. And the reason we have the dowels is to support the next tier of the cake. So I'm thinking we're just gonna do one tier of chocolate cake. So we'll just use 3 dowels. Okay, so the way we measure these dowels is pretty much just get one, hold it close to your cake. Get something sharp. I got these tools, I don't even know what they're called, but they're strong enough to cut wood. So I'm just gonna put a little indentation where the top of the cake is on the dowel. So now I take it off and I see where I put the indents right here. And I'm just gonna snip it right on off. So let's put little dots where we want our dowels to go. All right, so go ahead and stick it down where I put one of the holes. Gently. Alrighty, that's one.
Okay.
And here's our 2 chocolate cakes that we didn't burn them. So we're just gonna level it off like how we did the yellow cakes.
Chocolate on the table.
Here, you want this? I know you do. You guys, she can't help herself when she gets around chocolates. Perfecto. That's just what it wants.
I can't help myself.
I probably should have looked to make sure it was centered before I just plopped it on there. Alrighty.
This one really.
How is it?
Yes.
So this is the part that I said I've never seen done before.
Yeah.
We are, like TT said, we're gonna paint on fondant. I've always seen fondant mixed with food coloring and already colored. But yeah, and how we're gonna paint on it is just getting some of this icing gel color, sticking it in, sticking the paintbrushes in the coloring and painting it right on the fondant.
Here you can see us rolling the fondant around to make it warmer and rolling it out with the fondant rollers.
I know.
So I'm trying to make this as flat as possible. I mean, well, not too flat because you don't want your letters all flimsy and everything and breakable. First, I'm going to just make a light indent of my letters. So TT's gonna put her Juli name on one side of the cake and I'm gonna put mine on the other.
So the whole point of using fondant is to spell out Juli's name on the cake.
So guys, like I said, never tried this before. Don't know how it's gonna turn out, but we shall see. Hopefully it turns out good. So we're not gonna use this palette. I think it's kind of a waste. We're just gonna dip right into the gel colorings and just use different brushes for each one. In order to bring out some of the richness of the colors in the letters, we just added a little water.
To the back.
No, to the front first. And then, because let's look at how dark this L is right now. So this is TT's L. So I'm just gonna add a little,
Water.
yeah, let's add a little water to it. And one reason this project was so fun for us is because we both love to paint, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we added the water to it. Now I'm just gonna take a napkin and kind of
Dip it.
dab it a little bit. And that's how that watercolor effect kind of takes place. So we're adding water to the back to get it to stick, to get the fondant to stick to the icing on the cake.
So guys, these really stain your fingers.
All right, so let's look at TT's Juli letters. So turn it around gently, spin it so they can see your Juli letters. Nice, TT, nice. All right, let me put this down before I
Drop it.
Okay. All right, guys, so we're gonna take some pictures once we're all done with it. But for now, we're gonna wrap this up because it's been a super long day.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave you with what Mama says, our 3 B's. Make sure you be careful, be safe, and
be blessed.
be blessed. Yes, if you like this video,
Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
that's right. And happy first birthday, Juli. Happy first birthday. It's your birthday. So shawty. It's your birthday.